Welcome back to a late night episode of Sutras Podcast, episode number 91. We got the whole crew back when it's late night after the Thunder win game one of the Western Conference Finals versus the Minnesota Timberwolves 114 to 88. We got Ernest, aka LeBrunson. We got Josh here, aka Why Do I Like Basketball. We got Armani, aka The Biggest Hater. And you got myself, Eric L, aka The Revenge, starts tomorrow night. As the Knicks and Pacers renew their conference finals rivalry, tomorrow night, game one at the Garden. So in tonight's episode, we're going to recap the second round of the NBA playoffs. We're also going to recap the NBA draft lottery, which happened last Monday, in which the Dallas Mavericks, who finished 38 and 44, received the first pick and will get a chance to select Cooper Flag in next month's NBA draft. And also, we'll talk about the WNBA and their season just getting started this past weekend. The Liberty defending their crown, the Indiana Fever, and the Chicago Sky injuries killing Clark with a little scuffle. Well, also, we'll touch on a little bit on the Celtics' demise and what's going to happen to them after the shocking second round exit and the untimely injury of Jason Tatum tearing his Achilles. So sit back and enjoy as we recap what happened this past series. So, so we're going to recap the past round and the playoffs, the second round, which upsets galore, especially in the Eastern Conference. You have the 1 seed Cavaliers, 64 wins, getting ousted in 5 games by the Indiana Pacers, 4-1. And you had the 61 winning team, Boston Celtics, the defending champs, getting ousted by the New York Knicks, 4-2, which concluded with a 38-point butt whipping that the Knicks lashed out on them on last Friday at the Garden. So those are the two surprising elements that's happening in the second round. In the Western Conference, you had the 68-win Oklahoma City Thunder team getting tickets to 7 games against the Denver Nuggets, but they happened to prevail in Game 7 at home this past Sunday to advance to the Western Conference Finals. And then you had the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves ousting the Warriors in 5 games, and also Steph Curry missing the rest of the series with a strained hamstring. Also, in the Nuggets and the T-Wolves, the Nuggets in the Thunder series, you had Aaron Gordon go down with a grade 2 hamstring, which he played in Game 7. So the theme of the second round was injuries and upsets. So with that being in mind, we're going to start recapping the Knicks and Celtics, which became the biggest upset in this year's playoffs. Going into the series, everyone had the Celtics winning the series either in 5 games or 6 games.
You do?
Yeah, I said everyone.
Biggest upset though?
Actually,
the biggest upset is not Cavs and Pacers?
Nah. It was Knicks Celtics.
No, I'm with Eric on this one.
Because go back to the regular season, the Celtics swept the Knicks, and it was an average of 16 points per game in the regular season.
Yep.
The only game that was competitive was the last meeting in April before the playoffs. All the other 3 games, Celtics blew them up by 20 points. So, and which was funny because in this series, 5 out of the 6 games, the Celtics led by 20 in each game.
That sounds mad familiar.
So in Game 1, you had the Celtics up by 20, only to get walked down by the Knicks in overtime, and which ended in Mikal Bridges literally stealing the ball away from Jaylen Brown to end the game in overtime. Game 2, Celtics had another 20-point lead, but then, which happened again, had the Knicks walking them down into the last minute of the game. Knicks had a 2-point lead, Tatum coming down the lane, getting blocked off by OG and by OG and Mitchell Robinson, getting funneled to the left side, only to get triple team and get blocked off by Mikal Bridges, who ended the game with another block. Then game 3 goes to the Garden. Celtics come out knowing that they're in full desperation to get back in the series. They blew out the Knicks by 25. Game 4, Celtics had a 14-point lead in the third quarter, only to allow Jalen Brunson to go LeBrunson 18 in the third quarter. And then with 3 minutes to go, Knicks up by 9. Jason Tatum, non-contact, tears his Achilles, done for the season, done for the series. Knicks win that game to go up.
And what's crazy about the whole Tatum thing is he's been playing so much basketball. Like I don't think he's had a very the last time he's had an early exit was when they lost to Miami.
Yeah. No, 2021.
No, it is 2023 when they lost to Miami in 7. Remember they came
East
back
Conference Finals.
Yeah,
that was East Conference Finals, but
yeah,
that was
the last time
was the bubble.
No,
when the Nets beat them in the first round.
Early exit. Oh, I'm
early
sorry.
exit.
I'm sorry.
Early
when the Nets beat them in the first round.
Yeah.
They beat them in 5.
Yeah.
So like that was the last. Think about it. So like for 4-5 years straight, he's been having deep playoff runs. If not Eastern Conference Finals, it's the finals. Then he had the Olympics this past summer, and off of a. No, I get it, but I'm just saying, like he's hadn't had a break or like a long off season without any basketball activity, So it's unfortunate his injury happened the way it did, and the timing of it, of course, because now this not only takes him out, obviously for the which took him out the rest of the series, it takes him out of all of next year too. So. It's unfortunate, but Eric, continue.
Yeah, and there's going to be a whole lot of ramifications with that injury, and on top of that, the Celtics face a heavy tax bill, as we will talk about later on.
$500 million.
CBA.
Thanks, CJ McCollum.
So Game 5, Celtics come back home. Basically, a must-win for the Celtics to keep the season alive. Third quarter, basically, it was a tie game at half, and then third quarter the Celtics ran off, and then wind up ended the game up winning by 25 to go back to New York. Knicks up 3-2, and then close game first quarter, and then second quarter the Knicks just took out the belt and went BTA on the Celtics the rest of the way.
Eric, you have the belt?
Actually, hold on. Hold on, pause.
Yo.
So, if anyone's seen the video, so this is what they did throughout the whole second half. As I don't know if y'all saw that play, that defensive sequence by Mitchell Robinson, who guarded all 5 guys, and then went to that short corner and literally just blanketed Jaylen Brown and turned him over.
That's Brown's fault. He didn't shoot the ball when he caught it.
But how about he bounced the ball, knowing that he was wide open, and letting Mitch. So as soon as that happened, and then the Deuce McBride block on Derek White, was like, yeah, they win this game. Ain't no sweat. So that was the end of the series.
How did you feel about Tibbs keeping them in with like 2 minutes left in the game?
I'm like, bro,
and they were up 40.
Like, bro, like you really setting yourself up.
Son,
you really setting yourself up. But
don't learn.
Like you, but you know,
I was getting nervous. I was like, please, like no, like this can't end like that. Like no, Tibbs, get them out of there now.
And the fact that Joe Mazzulla waved the white flag in like the end of the third quarter is like, okay, like Hey, come on.
Yeah. Let the bench guys get some burn.
But so that was a series. Knicks win series 4-2 over the Celtics. No one saw that ass whipping coming by the Knicks by 40 to end the series. First conference finals appearance since 2000. And they'll be playing against a real familiar opponent, the Indiana Pacers, which you still got.
That is a long freaking time.
Yo, like,
hold on, just to put it in perspective for y'all, I'm 28 years old. The last time the Knicks was in the conference, I was 3, bro.
Yo.
I was a freshman in high school when the last time they made the conference finals, bro.
It was 25 years ago.
Yo.
I wasn't even in high school when that. I was in junior high school.
Bro, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you wonder why.
And y'all niggas, wait. And y'all niggas be talking like y'all the Yankees, bro. Yo, get out of here, bro. Y'all be talking to Knicks fans like y'all God's gift to the world, bro. And you talking about y'all haven't made the. All right, man.
Yeah. You know what they say? God give his toughest battle to the toughest warriors, man.
Fun fact: the Lakers have made it. The Lakers have made it to the Western Conference Finals in that time span 10 times. Just perspective.
So yeah, it's been a very long time, but we here. It's here. I don't want to hear no one say it was luck that the Knicks beat the Celtics. No, I don't want to hear that. Okay, the Celtics were arrogant. The Celtics were real arrogant. They were real cocky. Okay,
it was luck. You need luck,
but you need a little bit of luck to make it.
Yeah, you need a little bit of luck. You do.
What was the luck? I'm interested.
What are you talking about?
Jason Tatum.
The Knicks were already up. They were winning.
What are you talking?
Yeah, but the series wasn't going to be over. You know what I'm saying? Like the series was over once we knew what happened to Tatum. You don't think Boston? Obviously, they won Game 5. You don't think they could have won Game 6 if they were fully healthy? They were up 25 in 5 out of the 6 games. I'm sorry.
Guys, how do you think 3-1 comebacks happen, man?
Luck. Did we forget like Draymond? Like that's.
But also,
it's luck of the draw.
Let's not forget Tatum was in the lineup. Tatum was in the game for games 1 and 2 healthy, and they're up by 20.
No,
Eric,
but we're saying
I'm not refuting that. What I'm saying is
Tatum playing for the rest of the series, though,
it changes
them
everything.
a better chance to come back in the series.
Yeah, it just changes everything. Regardless, like you cannot refute the fact the Knicks were down 20 plus points 5 out of the 6 games.
You telling me that's not luck? You telling me that's not luck? Come on, bro.
I mean, damn.
Come on. Y'all didn't have the lead for most of the games until the last game, bro. You telling me that's not luck?
And
you need that. No, you need that. I'm not. That's not like trying to come.
As a Laker fan, we've gotten lucky plenty of times, plenty, and I will gladly take the luck every single time. Robert Horry, I salute you.
It's talent, hard work, and a little bit of luck, bro.
It's the way the ball bounces, man.
It's way the ball bounces. Like, yeah, you know. Okay. But it's okay. Eric, you haven't been here in a while, so I understand.
See.
Nah, man. Let them go crazy, man.
Nah, it's your moment. It's your moment.
The way the city was on fire the other night was incredible, man. And off the strength, because I said this when we spoke about the Liberty last year on their trip to the finals. Remember, I gave the Knicks a lot of shit because Liberty had won the chip. I was like, all right, Liberty won the chip, the Knicks, Nets, I called out all the New York team like, what y'all doing? Knicks have a possibility to do something, right? Both the strength of the Knicks making the championship, bro, the city's on the burn. The city's on the burn.
Nah, like real talk, if the Knicks win the chip, they got to shut down the city for like 3 days.
Shut it down.
Like, real talk.
Shut it down.
Real talk. They got to shut it down,
bro.
I'm sorry, Josh. I know it's like whatever to you, but it's going to be mayhem every day up until probably the parade, and then the day of the parade is going to be
It's gonna be more
freaking it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And listen, it'll be another 40 to 50 years till they see another one. So
Hey.
it's all good.
Hey, I don't care. Give me this one, this year. I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't think live in peace.
I don't think no
I can
Knicks
live in
fan
peace.
don't care about none of that shit right now. They want that shit now.
Mm-mm.
That's it.
Listen,
That's
they
it,
got
man.
Knicks have a legit chance to win it all.
And
Okay.
the funniest part about all of this is like
They
they dropping all the different players that play for their franchise and shit. I'm like, oh shit, like damn.
They do have a legit shot. Obviously, if you're one of the 4 teams left, you have a shot.
Especially when you knock out the defending champions, of course you do.
But I don't know. I don't know.
The Thunder.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my only thing. I don't know. I don't know if you could beat them, but we'll see. We will see. They, we'll talk about them in a minute. They have some flaws clearly, in their player performance thus far. But the Knicks have a legit shot, man. And listen, the Pacers though are no pushover. Those guys, that team, they play 10 deep. The scoring is going to be there for them. I just think they tend to blow leads a lot. And they become really undisciplined. They become really, that's a good point. They become really undisciplined on offense sometimes. So this is not the series that Halliburton disappears like he did in like two games against Cleveland. The key for them, I think, is going to be Nesmith and Nembhard.
Definitely Nembhard.
The wings.
Pascal's going to be Pascal. I think him and OG, they match up really well. Basically, honestly, it's like who's going to shoot between the big men. Like, are obviously Cat and Towns. They shoot a lot of ill-advised threes, in my opinion.
Yeah, Cat and Turner, Cat and Miles.
I'm leaning New York, but it's the little like questionable things that both teams do on offense. Obviously, like Brunson, great scorer, comes through in the clutch, but he pounds the ball a little bit too much sometimes. And then against a team like Indiana that can score in bunches, you can't have OG and Mikal just be missing all game long and then expect in the fourth quarter to show up. The Pacers play at a different pace than anyone else, I believe. So we're going to see. I think it is a pick'em series because I think both teams are pretty even. But I'm gonna go with the Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I'm with the same Knicks in 6, man. I think last year y'all could get it back in blood, especially last year. The way it ended, losing in Game 7, dealing with all those injuries, it wasn't supposed to go down like that. The Knicks were supposed to win that series, man. But I just believe that the Knicks is riding this momentum, and I feel like they're learning a lot about themselves as they go along in this trip.
And you know what's crazy too? The Knicks have had the hardest road out of between them and Indiana. Right, like Indiana beat Milwaukee in 5. They had the Dame injury, and then obviously Cleveland. We got some thoughts on them and how they didn't show up, and they beat them by 5. So they've been kind of. I don't want to discredit or minimize the things the Pacers have been doing because they've been impressive,
right?
But they cakewalked through their first 2 rounds. So. Whereas if the Knicks, playing a gritty Detroit team, and then obviously, what Josh, Detroit wasn't good.
They're not good compared to them other teams that the Pacers beat.
Well, they were more tougher though, for sure. Just how Detroit mucked the game up. I'm like, it was a long series, it was a brutal series,
physical game.
It was that takes some skin off you.
Yeah.
And then obviously them playing Boston and going through that. So I do believe the Knicks had the harder road, to get to where they are versus the Pacers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the major thing about this is obviously health, but the Knicks been tested. You know, the Pacers, they've been going into it as the underdog, and everybody ruled out the Pacers for obvious reasons. They had the same situation last year, right? They beat the Bucks because they were injured last year. They beat the Knicks because they was injured last year. So because those teams had flaws, the Pacers was able to get by. Hopefully, like I said, the Knicks stay healthy, they can get it done.
So Eric, what you got? Knicks and what?
Knicks in 6.
Everybody got Knicks in 6. Fuck out of here. I got the fucking Pacers. Yes, sirs. Taking it.
And
Fuck
but
Josh Hart.
I knew
I will say,
I knew he was going there. I knew he was
I
going.
will say though, Halle been turning up since that overrated poll came out, bro. I will say he has been turning up, man. But like, come on, man. Why is that even a question, bro?
Yeah.
On top of that, you got that WWE
Okay.
event last
Bro,
year.
worry about
So-
the wrong things, bro. Your eyes should be focused on the conference finals, not being worried about no WWE video games.
Oh,
to be
for
honest with
real?
you.
Really? Interesting. He should be focused on the conference finals, he says.
What you saying, Josh?
Fuck Josh Hart. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Players should be locked in, bro. This is the conference finals, bro. Winner goes to the finals, bro. We're in a position where we're in a position where we have 4 teams, right? You have the Knicks who haven't won the championship since the 70s. You have the Pacers who never won the championship. You have the Wolves who never won the championship. You have the Thunder, the Sonics, but Thunder fans is not going to count that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a legit chance. There's parity in the league, bro. For the past 7 years, we haven't had a repeat championship. There's no more dynasties anymore. So, like, the opportunity is now. It's now, bro. The CBA was eventually going to break up the Boston Celtics. So, honestly, it's now. Get that shit done now.
Yeah, I mean,
y'all saying that, but we got 2 young teams in the West that's in the conference finals that could keep doing this shit. So I don't know about this dynasties or dead talk. If OKC wins this year, realistically, what's breaking up that team? They can add more. they got draft picks coming in that they could just we could put them in.
Yeah.
Timberwolves could do the same thing. Yeah. They sat a top 5 or a top 10 pick this whole year, and he's gonna play next year.
So, someone's in street clothes tonight, bro. He's been not even in a rotation, bro.
So the whole dynasty is dead talk. Let's wait a little bit, because if one of these West teams win, if it's OKC or the Wolves, that might be the new blueprint on how to do a dynasty.
Yeah.
It all depends, though, because at a certain point, you have to pay up, and the Thunder have been known not to pay up. So we'll see. I get what you're saying, Josh, but the flip side of that coin is the CBA also forces these small market teams to come out of pocket when they really don't. So yes, it may be all right. Jalen Williams' contract is up. They got to figure out, and because he made an all-star, whatever. Now he's getting a super max. Like it becomes a little bit tougher now to move those contracts. So yes, to a certain degree, right? Because you could bring in young talent, or you could trade for other stars. But again, that tax bill starts to add up, and at some point, owners they come of the mindset of, man, that tax bill ain't worth that damn championship ring. So, that's something you have to consider as well. But yeah, on to the next series. In the West, since we're on the Western Conference. Denver Nuggets lose in 7 to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What he said? They be fake demon. They said Number 15.
We whacked out their murals, so it's all good.
They said 15. I watched 15. Get clamped by Caruso.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Yeah,
That was.
I didn't foresee that. I mean, shout out to Alex Caruso. I mean, the refs were letting a lot of stuff go, but Jokic was also flopping on a lot of those stuff too. But look, the Thunder were the better team. And there were some questionable things I think from both coaches. But it
you can tell the inexperience.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
And you could really tell the depth that the Denver Nuggets were devoid of, like really having no shooters on the floor. Because that was the recipe when Nuggets won in 2023. Like Jokic pinch posts, you know what I'm saying? And he could operate from there, and he had a bunch of shooters around him while Jamal Murray's cutting and Aaron Gordon in a dunker spot. Like it was a lot to do with, And now when you're playing,
they put Russ in the corner.
yeah, I mean, when you have Russell Westbrook out there, or when you have Peyton Watson, it did.
Josh?
It worked. He was shooting over. He was shooting over, like, I think 38% on wide open three. So, hey, it worked. But when you have Russ out there, you have Peyton Watson out there, and all of a sudden you start to believe in Strawford. Like. He had that. Yes, he had that game 6, but like, that's not something I think you can rely on. So, it really showed. And salute to Aaron Gordon for even giving it a go. Grade 2 hamstring strain. That is a dangerous injury. That you want to risk. But he went out there. He gave it his all. He had more rebounds than certain players on that roster that were perfectly fine, but and the Nuggets have some things they have to look forward to this summer to figure out. Obviously that roster needs some shakeup. So, and then obviously the T-Wolves, they beat Golden State in 5, which was expected after Steph's injury in Game 1. With his hamstring injury, Jimmy Butler not really being a no-show. Obviously, Draymond admitted, Julius Randle, he lost his matchup to Julius Randle. Julius was phenomenal in that series. And Jonathan Kuminga is going to get a bag now.
Can we talk about Julius real quick? I think outside of the star players in the playoffs, I think like honorable mention of like players who stepped up, Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, and Nembhard. Those 3 has been like some unsung heroes of like this entire playoffs, man. Like Julius Randle, I know we gave him a lot of shit, because we think it's the Lakers curse, right? Like everybody plays good against the Lakers. Look at Jamal Murray. Look at Michael Porter Jr., right? And Julius Randle, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He hunted out mismatch. He took advantages, and look what he was doing against the Warriors. He put up 26 a night. So he's been pretty consistent. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. He
shot over 50% from the field that whole series.
Come on now, And with Aaron Gordon built him out many times, especially with that dunk he had against the Clippers. He had some big shots. He had that big shot in Game 1 against the Thunder, and Nembhard just been balling. You feel me? Just straight confidence. So like those 3's been the unsung hero. But in terms of Julius Randle, I just find it crazy how possibly both of these teams, the Timberwolves and the Knicks, will possibly end up in the finals after the trade they made, because I think all of us was not high on that trade. We all felt that. I think besides Josh, I think Josh was the only. I think he said it was a W for Minnesota because of the bench. I think we was all like, nah, because how you trade Cat for Randall, right? But hey, it's paying off right now at the best time. Yeah,
both teams are happy with where they at. Obviously, and Randall certainly earned himself a good market as he goes into his free agency summer.
Thanks.
So, whether he comes back to Minnesota or not, I think he'll be fine. I think he returns back to Minnesota though. I think you have to pay him just for what he's doing. He because Anthony Edwards has some stinkers, in this playoffs, and Julius Randle has been there to, kind of, keep it afloat. So, and obviously the Warriors, they didn't have enough, and
Not enough.
yeah. So, now we have the Timberwolves and the Thunder in the conference finals, and obviously the Thunder won game one, convincingly. In the first half, the T-Wolves had the control, but it's just a sloppy offense and
the turnovers killed them.
turnovers, and their bench really didn't give him nothing. Naz Reid struggled from the field.
Dante.
At one point, he was 0 for 7 from the field. So
Dante also.
and Dante's been struggling.
Yeah.
This playoffs. Obviously, Jaden McDaniels gets fouled out early in the fourth quarter. So it's just, and then Ant-Man went out for a few in the first half because of his ankle injury. So, and then OKC was able to capitalize off the turnovers, and they turned up the defense, and they was able to get out in transition.
20-6 run third quarter.
Yep. The Wolves had 17 turnovers in total. You just got to be better, especially on the road. You got to take care of the ball against that team. But they can beat them. Like they legit can beat them if they play smart basketball. And Rudy Gobert was doing some really questionable stuff. He did a Euro step and on a fast break, and then in the middle of the Euro step, passed it out. Then he tried to do like a layup like behind his head. Like it was just, I was like, dude, you're too tall to be doing all this goofy stuff at the rim. Like, you got to be more of a presence. And I think they missed his presence tonight. He was in foul trouble early too. So, I do think this series goes the distance. I'm going to stand on what I said. I said I got Wolves in 7.
Ooh. Man.
Yeah.
It's
My
tough,
thing,
but
it's tough for me because since 2019 there is a thing called, and a lot of people don't talk about it, the Jimmy Butler curse. Whoever beats Jimmy Butler in the playoffs goes to the championship and wins it all.
I'm glad you brought that up. I seen that,
but it's hard to go against the Thunder. The Thunder are the best net rating team in a while.
On both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
On both sides, yeah.
Their
I think it's a
defense
12.9.
is, their defense is an all-time defense. How do you beat that? You need heroic stuff from Ant-Man and Julius Randle to beat that. So I got OKC and I got OKC in 6. It's gonna be a tough series, but I got OKC winning it.
Yeah, I'm totally not mad at that. Like I'm literally straddling the fence. I'm just gonna go with Ant-Man. But yeah, I totally would believe 6 games is where it ends.
But I do believe like the Timberwolves win is, if the Timberwolves win, we know why. It's because that coach on OKC is super inexperienced and does dumb stuff from time to time for long stretches. He just does dumb stuff. So,
sheesh. I'm pulling for Ant-Man. I want Ant-Man to win, but I think Oklahoma got to wrap this up in like 6. I just think they just have more offensive firepower, and I also believe that the defense, I feel like the defense is able to neutralize, man. So based off the strength of that, and they got the MVP. So,
which haven't been announced yet.
Which they haven't. Oh, I'm good. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. And that's something that we spoke about as well. That the MVP award has not been announced. At first, like I said before, I said it in the chat. I didn't really mind it because, like, around this time, like I remember seeing a post on Instagram saying like a couple days, like 20-something years ago, they announced Allen Iverson as the MVP. And I remember when Derrick Rose got his MVP trophy like during the Eastern Conference Finals, I think. So like I'm not really like it's not a shocker about it, but I don't know. Now it's kind of like, yo, because they announced the DPOI, they announced the all pretty much they announced all the other awards, and we're still waiting on the MVP award. You know, so it honestly could be any day now, to be honest with you, because game 1 of the Western Conference Finals just happened. It
So
just
why not
happened.
tonight? Yeah, like why not tonight?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so why not tonight? You know, why not kick it off? Especially if you are going to give it to Shea, which I believe they will, right? You give it to him game 1 in front of the team at home. Crowds going wild.
Wouldn't it be crazy? They say co-MVP. That would be nuts.
No.
Nah, man, it can't be like I said. It can't be, man. The Thunder don't win too many games just to give a co-MVP with Shea and Jokic. You don't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I agree. I just find it really weird that it's taking this long to announce it, though.
Yeah, I gotta look back and see when they announced D Rose as MVP. But also remember that the playoff schedule has changed over time.
But last year they announced it May 8th.
Shit, take the 21st.
We about to be in the finals June 5th, bro.
June 5th.
June 5th. That's game 1 of the finals.
You're right. You know what? I'm gonna go look that up. Hold on.
We didn't even get all NBAs yet.
Yeah, we did not.
We got all rookie teams.
Bro, rookie team was supposed to be the first thing.
Yeah,
the little petty award. We don't care about that.
Yeah,
it was announced earlier today. The old rookie team. Well,
yeah. Who you got winning, Eric?
I still got the T-Wolves in 7, but if they don't clean up their turnovers, the Thunder could end this thing in 5. So if they just like take care of the ball, and if Edwards don't have those stinkers like he did tonight and like he did like in those other games in the series, they should push this to 7 easy. But knowing how the Thunder play defense and they can go on those serious runs and still have SGA shoot 2 for 12 in the first half, like the T-Wolves need to be really careful on how they value their possessions, value the ball, and also they need to have the other scorer. The bench, especially the bench for Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo. The only reason why the T-Wolves was up in the first half, Randall had a big first half at 18 points. And then he basically ran out of gas in the second half, and then the Thunder turned up their defense with the turnovers. So they can, if this trend happens for the rest of the series, it could go quickly. So I still like the T-Wolves to win this in 7, but don't be shocked if the Thunder end this series in 5.
I agree.
So I got an update for y'all. So D Rose got his MVP trophy. Well, he got it announced May 3rd, 2011. Allen Iverson got his trophy May 16th, 2001. And today's the 21st of May.
The only time they announced it late was when they was doing that stupid award show.
When Harden got his MVP.
Yeah. I'm glad they got rid of that thing, man.
Yeah, the NBA awards was terrible.
Terrible.
Was terrible.
I don't know who told them to change that. Nobody told them to change that.
But next, since we're talking about off season like awards and stuff like that, NBA lottery came up.
Sheesh, that was game 2 of the 2011 Eastern Conference semifinals when D Rose got his MVP award.
Yeah, I think this is the latest they're doing it.
That's
why I'm saying I won't be surprised if we get co-MVP.
Nah,
that would be nasty.
Wow,
nasty, bro.
Co-MVP is crazy. It was other years that you could do co-MVP. This year,
that's what I'm saying.
This year?
This year, it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. But I can see it. You know, Adam Silver's NBA is it moves funny. It moves real funny. You know,
Stern, we need you.
When's the last time we had a co-award winner? Period. Was it Grant Hill and J Kidd?
Yeah, that was the last time.
Yeah, the co-rookie.
Yeah.
You can't, bro. You cannot do that, bro.
I mean, hold on.
Yeah, I can't think of no other time. That was the last time there was a co-award winner.
Just no other time, bro.
Bro, nah, the league can't do that, bro.
Yeah, that'll be the first time ever there will be a co-MVP. We've had obviously co-all-star MVP with Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
And then Stockton and Malone were also co-MVP for the All-Star game, but the last time it was this close though was between Shaq and Nash in the 05 season, which was crazy, bro.
I still, like
not 2000, not 2000.
No,
this is a little off. I still cannot believe Nash got 2 MVPs and Jason Kidd don't got 1, bro. Like what?
Yeah.
Remember that MVP between him and Tim Duncan back in 02.
Like, come on. Yo, the Nets were the worst team in the league, bro. Jason Kidd came, turned that whole shit around, and they was like, nah.
In 1 year, in literally 1 year,
bro. Because remember what they did. Phoenix was terrible. They get Nash and they win 62 games, and they was like, yeah, he's the MVP.
And that's I'm just like, didn't Kidd do that?
And they didn't make it to the finals that year.
Yeah, they got bounced by the Lakers.
No. 05 they lost to the Spurs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. 05.
Steve Nash.
They actually beat the Lakers that year. Yeah.
I don't think they beat the Lakers that year.
Steve Nash never made the conference finals.
Bro,
06. Yeah, I'm thinking 06.
Nash averaged 15, 2005 and 18. I mean, he averaged a double, but still.
No, I don't care, bro. Do you see the flag that Embiid get for not making the conference finals? They never give Nash that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
and he had stacked teams, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Honestly, it's Twitter, bro. It's social media, bro. A lot of that. I get what you're saying, but a lot of narratives would be different had we had social media in like the early 2000s, bro. Word.
Yeah.
A lot of people narratives would be different, bro. A lot.
But yeah, so now obviously we're headed to the off season and the NBA lottery. And a lot of surprises, a lot of disappointments. Obviously, we have the Dallas Mavericks, who recently traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. They wind up with the number 1 pick. Presumably, they will be drafting Cooper Flagg. Then with the 2nd pick, got the San Antonio Spurs. 3rd pick, Philadelphia 76ers. 4th pick was the Charlotte Hornets. 5th pick, Utah Jazz. 6, Wizards. 7,
stop there. You could just stop there.
Pelicans. 8, Brooklyn Nets. 9, Toronto Raptors. 10, Rockets. Portland. 11, Bulls. 12. And Bulls could have got the number 1 pick too, but they lost on a coin flip to Dallas.
No damn lottery.
And
they wasn't gonna win no damn lottery, bro.
And if fun fact, if Josh Giddey just misses the half court shot against the Lakers, the Bulls get the number 1 pick. Crazy stuff. Telling you, if you pay Godfather, you get rewarded. Then the 13th pick, Atlanta Hawks, and the 14th pick to top off the lottery, the San Antonio Spurs. So the Spurs have 2 lottery picks in this draft. Are we surprised? Are we surprised?
You got my 26th pick, bro.
About the lottery?
Yeah.
I kind of am, because like I didn't expect for it to go down this way, bro. Like I know Josh is gonna elaborate on how he feels about the lottery,
I'm not.
but yes, you are.
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
you are, bro. Bro, what? Come on. You got to tell the people how you feel, bro. You and Harry are the only two Nets fans that be popping up on this show, bro. So you and shout out to my boy Ed, who be in the chat sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I would say I'm surprised because Dallas getting the first pick. It
They won
after the
39
season,
games.
after the season they had, and then you follow that up with the Spurs, and then you throw Philly in the mix. It's like, bro, we discussed it so much in the chat over the past week, but the fact that these teams are getting awarded with high draft picks after the season they had, like Ernest said, well, we said this off the camera, but some of these teams are one piece away from winning the championship, bro. And it's like, yeah, I can understand if the Hornets got it. I understand if the Wizards got it. You know what I mean? Because that's how the league grows. That's how you put those. That's kind of also how you sell tickets as well, too, right? But the fact that you keep awarding the rich is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild, bro. Cooper Flag is about to play with 3 number 1 draft picks, bro. Well, 2 other number 1 draft picks, bro. AD and Kyrie. And then you still got Clay. I forgot about Clay. You still got Clay.
And what was also crazy too is like him on that roster. Like you got guys who have to get buckets. PJ Washington. You also have Najee Marshall. Like
contract.
But what I'm saying is he's going into a situation where he's not going to be the feature, which usually a number 1 pick is the feature guy on a team that needs to be rebuilt from the ground up, and they're the cornerstone. Yes, he's a cornerstone, but he's not going to be able to be the number 1 option for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And
to be fair, Kyrie not gonna play most of the next season, so
yeah, that's true.
It's true. That's true. But you still got AD. I mean, even though AD be missing some games too, but still. But then you look at the Spurs, right? The Spurs are like, obviously besides the Mavericks, but the Spurs are in the best possible space right now of what they can do.
How do you award a team that just traded for De'Aaron Fox? They got the rookie of the year already on the team. And
then you got a demigod in Wembanyama. And then you got the number 2 draft pick. And then you have a certain star. Josh's favorite player. You have a certain star in Milwaukee who wants out. So, how do you do that? How do you get him over there? You ship that pick. You get Giannis and Wemby on the same team.
Yeah, come on, man. Chill.
League in trouble, man. League in trouble.
I don't need that.
League in trouble. I know. As a Laker fan, shit, we you know what I mean? But
Giannis, Wemby, and Fox is crazy, man. Like, come on, bro.
And then you still
got. Come on, son.
You still got.
That don't make no sense.
You just said it.
Thunder.
You still got the rookie of the year on the team, and then you still got veteran Chris Paul if he decides to stick around for another season. So like you just loading up these teams, and then the Sixers, you can't forget about the Sixers, right? The season they had Embiid dealing with injury, Paul George is off the face of the earth, you know what I mean? And then you award him with the 3rd pick.
They got Jared McCain coming back. They got Maxey. Quentin Grimes was just putting up 40 a night, like
yeah, wild.
You know, it's like. You want the league to grow. Like, what's going to happen when these expansion teams pop up, right? Like, because obviously, if we get, I think Seattle will be the first one up. Someone from the West has to go to the East.
Memphis,
probably Memphis or Minnesota, right?
I think it's Minnesota.
You could, yeah. I think either one. But like you're putting all this. You're putting all your. Most of the faces of the league are on the Western Conference. Most of them. So it's just, and this is why we get to Josh's point. This is why we get the do away with the conferences, because the West is so dominant. But when you have the top two picks in the West on two teams that are one piece away from winning the championship, it's it's questionable for sure. For sure, it is. Josh, we need your thoughts on this, brother.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You're
a Nets fan.
Come on, bro.
There's a lot of dead space, man.
Somebody you got 3 other picks. But come on, bro. You got
Josh,
3 other picks.
Josh, you've been talking about this for the past year and some change, bro. You know what I mean? So
you remember what your background was?
Yeah.
Listen. I'm gonna just say this. Obviously, sports is not for me. Every time something is supposed to happen, it doesn't, because let me just start about it. Basketball guards are not real, guys. Basketball is only one God, and it's God of the universe. Basketball gods don't exist at all. You could do everything right in the sport. You could pay your dues. Your owner could help you amend relationships with China after Daryl Morey had 2 teams trapped in China for the comments he made.
LeBron was tight.
And Joe Tsai, the Nets owner, helped make amends with China and the NBA. You could get 2 superstars, 1 star to join your team.
You could say 3 days.
And then a once in 100-year pandemic happens. A once in 100-year. Let me repeat that. We have the Black Plague. We have the bubonic plague. And then all of a sudden in 2020, when my team had the unique opportunity of being the last dynasty of its time, before it even starts, we get hit with a lab-made pandemic. And to make matters worse, the stupid ass mayor, Eric Adams, was hating on the Nets and said, "No, we're not doing it. We're not lifting the thing." And then, Kyrie on his stance.
It's funny, they didn't lift. Mayor Adams didn't lift it until Judge and the Yankees were like, "Yeah, we're not doing that."
Yeah,
which is wild.
Like I said, my team doesn't get good things. It's happened since the beginning of time. We was about to. Kareem was willing to sign with us, and
he was.
Something happened. The merger happened, and the Nets was coming to the NBA, and then the Knicks, being haters, was just like, "Nah, bro, you gotta trade Julius Irving." I just accepted the point that the Nets are just one of those franchises that stuff don't happen like good for them. That's only for the Lakers. That's only for the Spurs. I don't know why the Spurs. Nobody likes San Antonio. That's only for certain teams. And life is about decisions. And I apparently made the wrong decision in being a Net fan. Like literally when I saw Mark Tatum say with the 8th pick, and Mark Tatum, you don't fight hard enough for Brooklyn because you from Brooklyn. I saw you a lot of times when I was at NBA store.
I thought he was going black off the strength of that.
When I saw the 8th pick and I saw the Nets logo, it's like a little bit of life left me. Like my fiance, she was like, yo, what happened? And I didn't answer her the whole night. It was bad. I didn't text anybody.
Yo, chat. He left. He was MIA,
bro,
from the chat for a full week. Like not like we said his stuff, we talking about stuff, and he is putting no input. What he literally disappeared.
Bro, I called Josh like 5 times, bro.
I hit you like, yo, is Josh really good? Like, is he okay?
I said, bro, Josh didn't even get on PlayStation, bro. Now, if you know a dude not getting on no PlayStation,
Yo, bro. I was taking every extra shift. I was doing doubles every day. I ain't wanna like look at Twitter. I ain't wanna watch nothing on TV. Like even if I had a day off, I was just sitting on the couch. Like,
and you want to know the funniest thing? Right after the lottery, son, I go on Twitter. I see Josh is in the space. I was like, because it said he was speaking. I joined the space, and I was like, Josh wasn't speaking at the moment. I was like, let me leave space. The fact that Josh wasn't talking to his own homies and surrounded by Nets fans, I respect it, bro. I respect it. I respect it.
Yo, but like the fan base was devastated. Like yo, what the?
Yeah.
But the Nets they actually tanked the right way. If you really think about it, they were deliberately trying to win games, like to the point where Josh was getting frustrated that they were winning games.
Yo, remember when Nick Claxton had the game winner?
and yo, dumbass Nick Claxton, shout out to you because it's your fault. Why the Sixers got a top 3 pick, we could have been in that spot, you dumbass. Yeah, so Nick Claxton is forever fuck you.
I'm sorry, man. I
listen, and it's not just like the Nets didn't get like top 3. It was just like you said, the teams that was in there, man. That's the thing
crazy part
that literally made me want to throw up.
Yeah, and it's like you reward Dallas for trading Luka to the Lakers. You rewarded that.
You reward the Spurs. The Spurs have back-to-back rookie of the years. Yeah. What more do they need? Yep. You feel me? Like, and then the Sixers,
demigod, bro.
The Sixers, it's nothing to talk about. They've been blessed the last 10 years. They don't like one of the only East teams that got multiple number 1 overall picks. So, like, I don't know what else to say. Basketball is not the love. I don't get the same love that I used to put into basketball. Like, I just put that into my family. Yeah.
I have a question. What would you like the Nets to do with the 8th pick, though?
It doesn't matter because they're gonna trade for Giannis, like a dumbass franchise. They're gonna trade for Giannis, sign Westbrook, sign a whole it doesn't matter. Whatever the fan base wants the Nets to do, they do the exact opposite.
Hey, bro, I'm just trying to get a feel of what's going on.
This is all it is, bro. Like, this is Brooklyn. This is Sean Marks, who I've been asking to get fired for 4 years, bro.
You have not jumped off that train yet. So
I don't know, bro. Soon. I don't. There's nothing else to say. And yo, shout out, Cam Johnson. How about those wins now? Now you don't got better teammates, you dumbass.
Yeah, because he was talking about the tanking. I didn't like it.
He said he don't like tanking, and look, who you teaming up with? Jeremiah Fairs. nothing, bro. Like,
Hey, man.
it's just a sports thing with me. Sports don't get along with me. It's not compatible
Oh
with me
man.
because I'm also a Jet fan. So everybody knows about the Jets.
Jeez.
They haven't made the playoffs since I was like 9. So,
Yeah, it's bad.
and I expect for them not to make the playoffs this year with Justin Fields as their quarterback. So, man.
Yo, oh my god,
Yo,
got
thank you,
Devontae
Nets.
for nothing.
Don't even talk about. I don't even want to talk about them. Those two cucks, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, bro. But they be thinking they Jordan and pimping. They ain't win nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Last, bro. But thank you, Brooklyn Nets, for just taking a joy out of a kid's game that I fell in love with. I'm in an abusive relationship. That's all I gotta say. And if the Nets, if the Nets do not trade for Giannis, I want them to draft Noah Senge. Just draft freaks, bro. Freak of nations, and just run them from there.
Yeah.
Noah Senge.
His combine was pretty good too.
Yeah, I want the Asian center.
Nah. Chill. I tweeted that like, yo, hold on.
I've been on him. I want Hansan Yang.
He's projected as the second round pick,
and we could take him in the first with 27 or 26.
Or 26.
Just do it. I want LeBaron Filon. I need guys that just play defense and hustle. Not like this fake hustle that I saw on the team this year. Like that is from players that's not good. Who's another guy? Noah Penda. Just draft me a whole bunch of French guys, man. That's the future. So
y'all gonna mess around and draft what's the kid name from Maryland?
Derek Queen.
No.
Yeah, Derek Queen.
No, that's not happening.
I don't think he's ever gonna go that high though. So
yeah, he is. The Wizards are stupid enough. Oh man, hometown kid.
Yeah,
he can play next to Sar. Oh man. Yeah, I see them doing that. I see them doing that. But yeah, like these other three here that love basketball, bro, I like it now. It's down to like. You know,
so. Yo. I mean, listen, like it does suck, you know, because like the Nets, for what they recently have gone through, like it's like for them not to get the number one pick was not even it didn't have to be number one, at least the top three.
Yeah, top three.
I was very surprised at that. Like that's kind of crazy to me.
So, it's like the Cowboy saying is for us. What can go wrong will go wrong. So
yeah. And on that note, we will end the show.
Let's end it. And if we trade for Giannis too, right? Watch, he's gonna axe out in a year and a half, and it's gonna be a whole cycle all over again, literally all over again.
But listen, all you got to do is trade him to the Godfather, and you'll get the number one pick.
Why does that matter?
You know
that number one pick, that pick will be in Milwaukee because we traded for Giannis, so it won't even matter to us. And then watch. Because all of a sudden, here's the other thing. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Every time I'll pick this with other teams, I'll do big jumps. When it's with Boston, last year, did a big jump for Houston and got top 3. But when we have our own picks, you see what I'm talking about? Like,
yep.
What really goes right for the Nets, bro? Nothing. So
Vince Carter.
What did I do? Second round.
Jason Kidd got you to the finals.
Jason
twice.
Kidd. Okay, that was cool.
Lakers.
And in 03. That was cool in 03. Like we're in 2025.
He ran up against Shaq and Kobe and Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And look at that. He ran into generational bigs like Kobe.
What was it? It was
The Nets
was-
back then was running around with a miscellaneous big, bro. In
Tom
the era
McCullough.
of bigs.
Tom
Yeah.
McCullough. And
Tom
what's it?
McCullough.
Nestrovich, that was his name, right?
Christich, nah, he wasn't there yet.
Nah, he
It
wasn't
was
there.
Jason
Not
Collins.
Chris
It
Richardson?
was Jason Collins.
Jason
And
Collins,
Jared.
yeah.
And the next year they got the Kevin Mutombo.
Oh,
The
and then
Kevin
no. It was the next year we got
And they
Alonzo
had
Mourning.
Alonzo Mourning.
And guess what happened? Liver. He had he had to replace his liver. Talk
Yeah.
about luck, right?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
I told you, like anything, it would just go wrong, bro. It would seem good, but then
They trade
something
for Ben Simmons, who was supposedly healthy, and then
Bro, I thought that was
Nah,
a
my
win-win
back.
trade.
No.
bro.
That's just Sean Marks being dumb because you trade for Ben Simmons and you didn't do a physical. You're just a dumbass.
yeah,
At the end of the day, and you knew he was hurt. You had all the flexibility, like yo, bro, like give me Maxi, but you got bitched by Maury, so I don't. That's just a Sean Marks thing.
yeah. Crazy stuff, man. But on that note, you know, we still got conference finals. Game 1 tomorrow at the Garden. It's going to be electric, and it's going to be some good basketball. And obviously, we'll get to the WNBA. They had their opening this past weekend.
Shout out Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark already triple-double watches. She's already, I would say, top 2 MVP candidate right now, along with Nafisa Collier.
I
So
was about to say it.
because Nafisa
Collier.
is wilding. She
Trying to
is
get it back in
wilding.
blood.
I know
Fact.
y'all not gonna mention WNBA without mentioning the Liberty. Shout out Natasha Cloud. You heard?
She's
Yeah,
doing-
yo. So listen, I watched that game.
Repeating.
Natasha Cloud is a cheat code for them. Like, I don't think you understand because now Sabrina, moving on from Sloot, now Sabrina could literally just be the score. She don't got to. Natasha can set up everything, literally. And Brianna doesn't have to be the playmaker either. Brianna could just get buckets. So
It's the repeat,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, they're gonna be really good.
Oh, they
you
lose
know-
defense, they get offense. So they lost.
Yeah.
They lost Laney out to injury. So
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
a whole nother unrivaled WNBA issue that they haven't resolved yet.
yeah.
Which is why some of the reasons why the WNBA as a company itself has some shortcomings on the things that they do. But yeah, but
Yeah, like
It's on-
drafting players just to release them.
yeah, which doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense because you don't have enough roster spots,
That's
and
crazy.
it's just it's a lot of them. And one day I would like to do an episode where we deep dive into the WNBA just on the nuances of like their CBA and all that stuff because a lot of stuff to me doesn't make sense onto why they do it. Like it doesn't. So, but until then, take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you, and watch some damn basketball.
Or don't.
Peace and love, or don't if you're a Nets
Exactly.
fan.
Go Knicks.
Oh man.